What's up, everybody? I'm Tim.
And I'm Tori.
And this is the Stuck Together podcast.
We're back.
Episode number 14.
After a 2-week delay.
Yep.
Because I was very sick. Very sick. I couldn't talk. So we physically could not do the podcast.
No, she was really out.
Yeah.
Really out.
I sounded like this. I sounded a little different than that, but.
Yeah. And she was always coughing. Bad coughs.
Sniffling.
Yep.
But I made it through. I did good, and
we're here today.
Yeah, as people on SSRIs know, you can't take any cold medicine. Mm-hmm. And so I just had to raw dog it the whole time. Mm-hmm. Can't take any decongestants, any cough medicines, anything like that. So it's a rough time, but
yeah.
Sometimes
you could only take Tylenol, right?
Yeah.
That was the only one.
Yeah, so yeah, and I could do I did a neti pot and stuff, which helped. But yeah, which sometimes cold medicine doesn't help. Like sometimes you don't want to suppress the cough, or sometimes it's good to just get it out. Even that's something that doctors even recommend sometimes. If it's not as bad, try to just let it happen and get it out.
Right.
Because your body's doing it for a reason,
Yeah.
But all of that to say, it sucked. But it happened the day after Thanksgiving. So luckily we had a good Thanksgiving. We got to hang out with family, and then I started feeling sick. So
yeah. The holidays right into being sick. And I was a little surprised because you were sick for 7 days.
I was sick for a week. That never happens to me. 7 days.
You tried to go to work once or twice.
Yeah.
Towards the end, but you even had to go home one day. It kept going. Yeah. I was like, wow. Yeah.
I haven't been sick for that long of a period of time for a long time. Normally it's 2 days and then I'm good.
Yeah. That's more of what I was expecting. Then the days kept going, and I was like, I mean, it wasn't jarring. I wasn't super worried, but it was wow, this is going on.
Yeah.
So glad that that's over.
Yep. Yeah, I was very reminiscent of my childhood. I was really sick as a kid, and I was sick for weeks at a time and stuff. So I was just sitting in bed for so many days. So whenever you came home, I just if I could talk, on the days I could talk, I just I would not stop talking because I was alone with my thoughts all day for 5 days in a row. I was I gotta talk.
She started losing it a little bit. She started because she had too much time to think, and she was just in bed.
And I couldn't really talk either, so I was trying to express.
So she wanted to talk,
and I couldn't.
And so it was oh man, this is bad. And I remember we took the dogs out one time, and you were oh yeah, first time I've been out of the house, and it was since yesterday morning or something. Yeah. You'd not been outside, not done whatever. So
yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah.
But we're gonna, I think, try and take a walk or a hike this weekend.
Yeah.
Get our body moving some more. My body keeps
cramping now because I wasn't moving for so long that I kept getting leg and arm cramps because I just was laying down all day. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's bad when you're so sick that you don't even want to play video games or anything. For the most part, I couldn't do anything. I was I can't even play fucking Animal Crossing. You're kidding me.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything. I was so tired and everything. I was
and you said you were bored with YouTube too, which if you had an infinite time with YouTube, that's what would happen. You'd be yes, so what?
Yeah. Well, we all experienced it. At least people who experienced real lockdown experienced that. For the first time, we were I could watch whatever I want for however long I want, and then after the first week and a half, you're all right, I am fucking bored. Wow.
Turns out stuff's better in smaller doses.
Looks there is more to life than just sitting and watching videos. But yeah, so YouTube got boring, and I just I couldn't even really sit up to do much. So yeah, it was boring, and once I got back to work, I was so chatty too. Me and the girls just talked forever because I was guys, I have been locked up, unable to talk for so long.
Yep.
So it was good though. It really I've been sick a lot in my life, and it really wasn't that bad. out of all the illnesses I've had, I was pretty okay.
Mm-hmm.
I did pretty okay. I was glad that it never really got really bad. So yeah, doing good. I don't know what it was, but definitely not just a cold. I feel like colds don't last that long, so I don't really know what.
Well, it's probably. I mean, what is a cold, right?
True.
Like,
I don't think a cold is really a thing. It's like
they're all just different types of viruses that your body takes on and then has to fight off.
Yep.
That's just how it goes. So your body got something that was like trying to work its thing, and your body was like, nah, and it took a week, and then it won, and it was like, yes.
Well, and you were a great caretaker, and you took great care of me, and I really appreciated it. He took the dogs out a bunch. He did the dishes a lot. Normally he cooks and I do the dishes, and he cooked and did the dishes for like a week. And I'm really bad at like letting people do stuff for me, and so the whole time I was like, I'm so appreciative, but also I hate this. Like, but yeah, you made me tea and got me stuff from the store and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm so glad you're feeling better, and we're finally feeling good enough to do the podcast.
Yep.
And we're sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
We talked multiple times about what we want to do with the podcast and how we want to keep moving.
Yeah.
But we're not going to intentionally stop without telling you guys.
Yeah, never.
So we're sorry about that. We were late to post about it too.
Yeah. I think because a lot had Thanksgiving happened, and that's on a Thursday, and normally like around Wednesday to Thursday is when we record the podcast anyways to post on Monday. And so that happened, and then I got sick, and then it was like all of a sudden I think we both kind of realized like, oh, it's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like we haven't posted.
Yeah, and she does most of the social media, and I could be good at it probably, but I just think I don't care enough. And so I didn't think about it. And she takes care of it. So after a while, I was like, we should post something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're sorry, but we're back. We're here.
We're back. And we would never, if we are anticipating ever having delays or taking a break or anything, we will let you guys know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do.
If we don't, just know we're dead. No.
We might do a bonus episode soon to.
Yeah, we can do a bonus. That'd be fun.
Make up for it.
Yeah,
we'll try and do that. So yeah, but yeah, it's been a good couple of weeks.
Yep.
One holiday down of the holiday season.
Yep.
That was a nice 4-day weekend. I binged a lot of Valorant.
Oh, so nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I had a little bit of the weekend to enjoy before I got really sick.
It was
it was nice to just hang.
Like right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yep, I'm back on the Valorant grind, playing a bunch.
He's playing a bunch.
Mm-hmm. Really into it. Really want to get better at it and rank up. And but that's been fun. I've been up to that. And we watched Boogie Nights. We did our movie for this week.
Yes.
And that was
forever ago.
Did we? What was the last? No. Yeah.
We had already watched Boogie Nights when we recorded the Transformers one.
Yeah. Before we recorded the last podcast, we watched Boogie Nights for this podcast.
Yeah. It's been maybe a month since we watched Boogie Nights. But we watched it nonetheless. And it's one of my favorites, and I've watched it probably like at least 4 times now. So for the most part, I can fill in the gaps of if you forgot about anything.
Oh yeah. Well, let's read a quick synopsis.
Oh, wait.
Do you want to read it or should I read it?
Don't we have emails?
Oh, we do have emails. We're
so out of routine, guys. We have emails.
33 of them. Let's see how many are from TikTok. TikTok, Google, Linktree, TikTok, Linktree. Yeah. Oh, who's this?
Who is this? Oh my goodness.
Hillary McClung.
Hey.
Who has the same name as me. That's strange. Okay, so dear Tim and Tori, sweet. Love your podcast. Just finished episode 11. I felt compelled to write after Victoria threatened us again.
I'll keep threatening.
I don't like horror films, but A Quiet Place is one of my favorite movies. Have you watched it? It's more a suspenseful movie about family and survival. The bonus features about one of the cast members being deaf were great. Very interesting. Tim, I don't remember ever getting scared at a movie. You ever getting scared at a movie ever. In fact, when you were really little, you were frustrated when we wouldn't let you watch scary things. You said, Mom, when I was in your tummy and watched scary movies, I could see them and I didn't cover my eyes.
Oh my God, that's so cute. Oh.
Love you guys. Love the podcast, Mom.
Oh, that is adorable.
Well, I don't think I ever would have remembered that I was never scared of scary movies.
Yeah.
I just was like, I started watching scary movies and I was like, what's the deal? But yeah, I guess that makes sense. My mom tells me about I think it was Jurassic Park. And I was like, I watched Jurassic Park in your belly when I was a baby and I didn't cover my eyes and something like that. But also I've watched The Quiet Place. Have you watched it? Mm-mm.
I've heard a lot about it, but I haven't watched it.
Maybe we'll put it on our list.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really, really well done and really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked it. So we'll watch it at some point and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Aw. Also, this is a threat to my own mom. Can you please email? She listens to Tim's mom emailed, and my own mother, the email queen, has not emailed us. Hello? No, I'm not. Is
this how you're gonna treat everybody? Just threaten everybody we want something from. Just start naming people every podcast.
That's how It's just how I get what I want. I start threatening people. Yeah, my mom's gonna respond, and then I'm like, on another note, my dad. Then I'm like, on another note, my sister. No, I'm just gonna keep going down the line. No, but she shared a thing about you when you were little, and that's so cute. I love it. That sounds like something you would say.
That's me.
You saying something witty like that. Like, when I was in your belly, I didn't cover my eyes. That's a sassy Tim thing to say.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah, I get sassy.
Yep, he's a sassy. We're both sassy. Okay, so, back to Boogie Nights. Thank you so much, Hillary, for the email.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
I love
if you want to email us, stucktogetherpod@gmail.com.
Please email the most embarrassing thing Tim did as a kid, too. I would really appreciate that.
Moving on to the next segment.
So Boogie Nights, the general plot is in the San Fernando Valley in 1977. Teenage busboy Eddie Adams, Mark Wahlberg, gets discovered by porn director Jack Horner, played by Burt Reynolds. God, I love Burt Reynolds. Who transforms him into adult film sensation Dirk Diggler. Brought into a supportive circle of friends, including fellow actors Amber Waves, played by Julianne Moore, Roller Girl, played by Heather Graham, and Reed Rothschild, played by John C. Reilly, Dirk fulfills all his ambitions, but a toxic combination of drugs and egotism threatens to take him back down.
That's it. That was the movie. That's
it. And bye, guys. See you next week.
We thought it was good. Bye, guys. Yep. We're out. Roll credits. Directed by Paul Thomas Anderson
in 1997.
And came out in 97, set in the 80s. Stars Mark Wahlberg and Burt Reynolds and Julianne Moore and Heather Graham. And you'd seen it a few times before, and it was my first time watching it. I thought it was interesting, like the tone of the comedy movies in like the 20s or 2000s and 2010s. I feel like this, it's almost like I could tell, or it made me think of like this movie setting the tone for those movies that got more and more ridiculous. And so like there was like kind of like a theme of like ridiculous comedy movies of like people doing crazy stuff or whatever. But I felt like this was like right before that, and it was like funny but also like serious at the same time. Like it was like I don't even know how to explain it.
I think it really played into the corniness of the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of it felt very like, a lot of their clothing, a lot of the things that they said, like the slang that they used, like, just all of that. And yeah, they definitely played into it, and it was a really good balance of like serious and funny.
Yeah, it
was really good. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, and I think one of the first things I asked was, is this from the 80s? Because it's interesting. It's 2023, watching a movie in the 90s set in the 80s, and they did like such a good job. I just thought it was the 80s.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, how old is Mark Wahlberg? But
it came out 20 years after the like start date in the movie.
Yeah. So yeah, they did such a good job with like making it period. And yeah, it was just like really well shot and really well done. Which sometimes you don't see as much with a lot of the new movies we watch.
Yeah.
Because we're like transitioning into like lots of different people making movies, and like with smaller budgets and stuff going onto streaming services and everything.
Prita,
you're gonna.
Prita. Sorry. Oh my God.
Freya is trying to climb over everything, and it looks like she's gonna knock everything over.
All right. Well, anyways,
I love that, like, the actual film texture.
Yes,
they and did like really the way that they colored it and everything is just so like nice and refreshing. But yeah, the tone of it being like so funny and so serious and like a normal plot, I thought it was like kind of unique, honestly, and I really, really liked it.
Yeah, it was really good. It was very, I loved that there were moments that were so sad or very serious, and then at the same time just like so funny. Hello.
And if it's your first time, we pretty much just go right into spoilers. So.
Oh yeah. Every time, just spoiler warning. We're not gonna really censor anything about the movie. Yeah. And so, yeah, there's just certain moments for anyone who like did watch it or has watched it, like. I think one of the first establishing scenes of it being kind of more comedic is when, of course, I can't remember his like best friend's name, like making the margaritas, and they were asking, he was like, "How much do you bench?" And he was like, "It's like, you tell me first." And then like they both just didn't say anything, and like it was just like it felt what I liked about it is that it all felt very real. It honestly didn't feel that sensational or that over the top, like. It was glamorous because, the porn industry, you make a bunch of money. Like it is quote unquote glamorous in a way. Especially in that golden age, before, like the internet and, video, like VHS and all of that. Just I've always loved that movie because it felt so, it felt very natural. The dialogue is great. The actors are phenomenal, of course. Mark Wahlberg, Jesus, so good.
Yeah.
And it just, even though they're all such big name actors, I had no problem like believing that it took place in 1977. Like,
oh yeah.
It was so well done that it didn't take me out of it at all. That I'm watching Mark Wahlberg, the comedy didn't feel like forced or anything. It felt very natural. There's just so much I love about the movie. I really like to, it's one of those movies that I feel like a lot of people would have had Mark Wahlberg's character narrating it. And they didn't do that. And I love that they didn't do that. Because this movie's really reminiscent of Goodfellas, Wolf of Wall Street, those kind of like rise and fall stories. And both of those, the main character is narrating like their life. Yeah. And I love that they didn't do that. I love that it's just all this stuff is happening. And you feel how you feel about it. Like no one's telling you how to feel about it,
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really good, and I think, well, I mean, it was really good. there's so many things. The transition from the 70s to 80s, and when they were talking about the technology changing, and like the way people like, because they were saying something about like, well, people don't want porn stars anymore, they want amateurs, and this is VHS, this is going to take over or whatever. And just like people being like, nah, you're crazy, I know what I'm doing, this is my industry, this is my job, you don't think I know what I'm doing, and like, of course, like from the perspective of the 90s, that's different. From the perspective of today, that's even more different. And like, it was really interesting, like especially that part of it. And I was gonna already say that the acting was amazing, so I'll mention that I was already gonna say it because it's worth saying again. That's like just how good everybody was. And like, yeah, definitely with Mark Wahlberg, his rise and fall, the way he transforms from playing, he like perfectly plays the like kind of young, dumb, blessed kid who just like has this talent, which in his case is like his extremely large penis. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be something big one day.
Yeah.
And just like
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be
then going
someone.
through the melodrama diva phase, like he does all of it like perfectly. Like it's just so good. It's so good to watch. It's like, and I was wondering how big those people were before that movie, because it's always interesting to see like who. I think Burt Reynolds is like super OG, so that didn't do it for him. But I think that was Mark Wahlberg's first movie he did was Boogie Nights, I think.
We should look that up because I don't know.
He was Marky Mark and did music, and then he did Boogie Nights.
Oh,
that was his first thing.
Yeah, so he was known, but he wasn't known for. What was his first role? The Substitute.
Nope, that's totally wrong.
It's all
somebody.
Good.
I think I saw something because I looked up a little bit of stuff after the movie. Because it
could have been his first like big movie.
It was probably his, maybe. It says, you say it.
He had his first starring role in James Foley's thriller film Fear.
Well, no, that's his first starring role, which means he's like the main character.
Oh, I know. I was saying that I was wondering if it was his first starring role, and it isn't. Fear was. But yeah, okay. So Boogie Nights was the breakout.
So Boogie Nights was his breakout, but he did other work before that.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
I will say one thing about the acting that is, I feel like even more impressive. Oh God, he's everywhere.
It's Marky Mark, dude.
No.
I haven't listened to his music. I thought after we watched it, I thought about listening to his music. Yeah. Because I'm sure it's out there. Is it on Spotify? Let me look it up.
I wasn't talking about that.
What were you talking about?
There were some photo icons at the bottom of like recommended people or whatever, and Tom Segura was one of them. And so I went, oh God, he's everywhere. Oh, because we talked about him in the podcast.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mark Wahlberg. No. I was like, we looked him up.
No, no, but with the acting, I think what's even more impressive than just good acting is good actors that can pretend that they're bad actors.
Yes.
And so in their actual like porn scenes, how terrible and corny their acting is. And the fact that they had to do that, like basically force themselves to be terrible actors, is so impressive.
It's really, really well done.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
I'll have to do this later.
Yeah.
He's on Spotify. I gotta go listen to it.
Yep. We'll give a review.
Back when Mark Wahlberg was Marky Mark.
This is how we used to make the porn. He's not.
Anyway.
Horny dork. Anyways, so Mark Wahlberg is now not only Marky Mark.
Right.
But yeah, love his character. I love Amber Waves too. Oh my God, one of my favorite characters. The makeup, the hair, the it's so hard for me to talk about this movie. This is one of my probably in my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Sheesh.
It is so hard to talk about because I'm just I just love everything about it.
Well, just keep saying stuff then.
I mean, capturing.
There you go.
You just. No, you go.
No, you go.
No, you go. Okay. I just love that you were like, no, go ahead and talk about it. And you were like, actually.
Got him.
Just kidding. No, I think it's really impressive to be able to capture a time period and have no, it just be so convincing. I think the set designs were so good. The costumes were so good. I think their general energy and stuff. I think they were really good. It was really good casting too, because there are people that just have people joke about it now. I see it on TikTok and stuff, but there are people out there that have a so-called 2020 face. Your face would never be a certain person. Their face would never be from the 60s or 70s. If you put them in a role that was supposed to be in the 70s, you just never would believe it because they just don't look like it. Does that make sense?
Kind of, but I think that's mostly, I don't think that's real. I think it would only not work if you knew the person. If you had a hyper glitch pop neo house music artist who played video games while they DJ'd, i.e. you're very familiar with this person in a formal a current setting. Mm-hmm. If you put that person in a movie about the 1840s, your brain's gonna be no.
Yeah. Well,
but if you'd never because I've thought that before, and then I look at pictures of old pictures of people, and it's they're just people.
Oh,
we just the setting is different, and so our brain is they're different.
Yeah.
They look different.
Young Stalin looks like he could be from right now. Have you seen pictures of young Stalin?
Young Joseph Stalin from Russia?
Yeah,
okay. Should we
scary guy. Italian.
Look it up.
He was from Italy.
Oh, what?
Am I wrong? Is that Mussolini? I think I'm thinking of Mussolini. Of course it's Stalin.
Are you sure? What am I looking up right now?
Look up Joseph Stalin.
Young
Joseph Stalin.
Joseph Stalin.
If I totally botched that, I think I'm thinking of Mussolini for Italy. Look at him. He looks like he's from right now.
That's because he's just a human.
Boy.
Look,
that's what I'm
things
saying.
Don't
that's what I'm
change
saying.
That much. We think they do, but.
Can we know Russian? Okay, yeah, okay. I mixed it up, guys. I apologize.
She got her dictators.
I did.
Moved around.
It's the classic switch up, the mix up. They're
all bad in her head. So
can we look up? Was Mussolini hot when he was young?
Or just looking up. How do you spell his name?
Mussoli. How did I know that? I mean, he's fine.
He's not as strapping as Stalin.
No. Oh, Stalin, different story. Anyways, so all I'm saying is that there are certain people and the way that they presented themselves that because it's the clothing, it's the makeup, it's the hair, it's all of that. That makes people look from a different time. And so I think that those pictures of Stalin in particular, it's because he doesn't have facial hair. His hair is very just basic. So yeah, it's believable that he could be from any time.
Mm-hmm. Real quick though, this is Mussolini as a younger.
Yeah.
Just imagine this is one of those guys who only wears gym shorts and t-shirts. Can you see it?
Yeah,
he's that guy.
100%.
He's always on the computer
100%.
and he only wears gym shorts and t-shirts.
Yeah. Who's another dictator that we can look up? Was Idi Amin hot?
Okay, we're done. We're done with the dictators.
Anyways, okay, so I should say that they did such a good job with the it was just so immersive. It was so everything felt very authentic. It was extremely convincing. And so I think that's more of the thing of you see people in period pieces and you're there's no way like, because probably the set design, the makeup, the hair, all of that isn't right. You know, like it's not correct for the time period. And so in this case, it felt very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of their line delivery was just so funny. Like, because we talked about it while we were watching the movie. It's like, when you're in porn, that's your job. And so you talk about it in a way that like a normal person wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, like, I would love to work with you. Like, I would love to work with that person. And
right.
It's like, that means that you're going to have sex with them on camera. But it sounds so professional. Like, oh my God, it's my dream to work with that person. And,
right.
Or like saying things so matter of fact. Just like, of course, I can't think of anything from the movie right now.
Well, there's the one scene where, is it the guy who funds the director, Burt Reynolds?
Oh, yeah.
He's at the party and he's like, hey, show me your cock. He's
Yeah,
like, I need to see your cock. Everyone's telling me about this. Like, let me see it. And he shows it to him and he's like, God damn. But like,
he just went, thank you. Like,
oh yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. But yeah, just like, because at those parties, everybody's like in the industry or whatever. And
it's
so,
just normal.
Yeah. Oh,
it'd be like being like, show me your portfolio. Like it's so fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and like the I think what it is the juxtaposition of it being as funny as it is at parts and then as dramatic as it is at parts. The one guy commits suicide at the party.
Yeah.
Then there's that robbery gone wrong. And I think the character's Buck gets all that money after everyone gets shot at the donut place. Yeah. It's like super dramatic and kind of gory. And then they go to the drug dealer at the end to try to, his friends like, let's bamboozle him and take his money. And like, when they get there, the two friends are like, oh, I did not realize how bad of an idea this was. Right. And like, they do such a good job of like just making it so tense. And like, it's just got all these different types of moments in it. And then like, just like the sexiness of the porn backdrop on everything happening. And just like, it's just, yeah, it's like a little bit of everything, but it's like perfect. Yeah. It's like, it's insane.
Yeah, every character is very different from the next, and they all bring something as well. I think, like, I really enjoy that they're all, it's just so, like, every character I, like, cared about and, like, wanted to get to know them, too. You know, even though Mark Wahlberg was technically the main character, it really didn't feel like that in a lot of ways, because they spent so much time focusing on everyone else, too.
Yeah. Well, and it also, so there was the one segment where Roller Girl is doing the scene while they're on the street.
Yeah, in the car.
And then the guy gets weird about like knowing her.
Yep.
And then they kick him out and like beat the shit out of him. Like that would be one of the only moments maybe where it felt like maybe they were trying to like say something about the porn industry, but I was getting to the fact that it didn't feel like they were trying to say something about the porn industry. It was just like a little lens onto this like story that, you know, is like dramatic and like emphasized for the fact that it's a movie, but it was like, yeah, this is just happening.
Yeah,
like,
this is what happened at the time, and what was popular and what is still popular in ways, you know. It's like, even though it being the guy she went to high school with is definitely like, what a coincidence, you know. It's like, that's, you know, very you know, that's like for the movie and the significance of it being that guy. But yeah, it's like that was happening, and that's where the porn industry was going, and like it became so bad, you know. And just so, I think it really emphasized when things changed and started becoming extremely disrespectful to women.
Oh yeah, because they kept talking about like, how aggressive.
And the guy who basically like replaced Dirk was holding a gun at a girl, being like, yes, like, oh my God. And it's true, it like that kind of stuff became very popular, like and it still is in so many ways. It's like, you know, that wasn't okay for a long time. And then, yeah, it's like no one, you know, it's detrimental to everyone, but it's especially detrimental to women, that it became very socially acceptable to be extremely disrespectful to women because it was seen as like, you know, it was arousing or whatever, you know, just so.
Well, that's what happens with porn too. If they were like, I mean, I don't know, history wise, we talked about it a little bit. Like people probably always throughout history, like if they had an image of a woman, they'd probably have something. But yeah, like with technology adapting and being able to like not like, because I assume you used to, like if you wanted like to indulge sexually, you'd go to like a brothel or like some type of, you know, the equivalent of like a strip club or something like that. You had to go in person somewhere, really, and then or get like paintings or drawings.
Yeah.
Until photography came along, and then video, and then it was all over, you know. Then that's like when it really took off, which is crazy. But that's what they say is like people watch like lots and lots of porn. You have to watch more and more. Like if you watch like a lot, you have to start getting like new stuff to get stimulated.
Yeah.
So you start getting down all these like really bad, weird rabbit holes that you wouldn't get to if you only like just like, you know, had sex with your wife or were just a normal human being in general.
Yeah.
But because you have access to all this stuff all the time, then it starts to get weird and bad. So I wonder if that was, they illustrated that because that was maybe the first time that it happened like more broadly, where like people were like, yeah, I guess we're into this, you know.
I think
it's just
so.
like
Yeah,
it's just like messed up.
Yeah, and it just it was, yeah, I think the like just readily accessibleness of all of it, and that, yeah, like since it was becoming easier and easier to create content, like it was becoming less expensive, easier, like more quote unquote like on the go, you know, it was like more content had to be pushed out. And you kind of see it even just with not even porn nowadays, because, you know, you can make so much content just in a day. And so it feels like we're in this like, you know, we're just bombarded with content all the time because it's so easy to make, and the expectation is for you to continue making. Like if you want the recognition and publicity and whatever, like you have to post as much as you can. Like I was looking up, because I have a TikTok page for my business, and I'm like trying to, you know, kind of get back into it and everything. And I was looking up like, because I for some reason in my head I was like, is it bad to post multiple times a day on TikTok? Like, are they gonna get mad at you if you do that? No, they want you to post as much as possible, and that's the way you get recognition.
On Instagram, they get mad at you though.
Yeah. So Instagram gets mad. The theory with TikTok though is that they don't, because it's kind of hard to know, you know, because the algorithms, not like they like write it down or anything. But all of that to say, like, I was reminded of it during this movie when they were like, yeah, VHS is the future, and like, you know, people can watch it in their homes and like, you know, go and buy like 10 VHSs at once and like all this stuff. It was very similar, and you could tell that their porn content was getting lower and lower quality because they had to pump out so much more. Right. You know, they had to keep creating to keep up with everything. Unlike in the like 60s and 70s where it was like you were creating films to be shown in movie theaters. Right. And like all of that. Like it was like, no, like this guy is going to be coming back to the like porn shop every week expecting new VHS tapes. Like we got to keep making stuff if we want to keep making money. Yeah. You know, and so, yeah, it's like the more accessible content becomes, it's just almost a given that the quality is going to decline. And so, yeah, like kind of, I don't know, it's, I think I like it too because of that kind of commentary of like, you know, porn wasn't always, I mean, well, I don't know because I wasn't there, but I think porn has always been kind of it's been a field where women and men can get exploited very easily. Like I think it always has been, but I think especially now it's like off the charts, you know, because anyone can like open a like porn company. Like anyone can just like start making porn, you know, like, and, you know, can start hiring people and just, you never know who they are, you know, but yeah, I don't know.
Can you imagine a new Boogie Nights with Zoomers?
Yeah, it's called Hot Girls Wanted.
Yeah, like in like 7 years, the boomers or the Zoomers get a little older, and then there's a Zoomer porno like New World adaptation, with phones and just like crazy shit. Yeah, I think that comes full circle to what we were saying with like YouTube though too, because like I think my hope would be that, because like everything is just like we're producing like so much more, so much faster of everything that we have before. And yeah, I heard about like with Tesla, they have these new Tesla models and stuff. I think the Cybertruck that Elon Musk is making is supposed to have like 3 electric engines in it, and it's supposed to go like 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds. Yeah. I'm like, stop. We don't need people to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like I understand like there being cases or whatever or circumstances, but like I just imagine us all getting stuff that's like way too efficient for our own good. And like I have hope that like with the YouTube stuff eventually we'll burn out and be like, we need to figure out what's going on. We can't keep doing this. You will get there or whatever, but yeah, I just think about like with everything, it's like we're doing too much, dude. Yeah. We're doing too much.
We're constantly upgrading. Like the minute you talked about the Cybertruck thing, it reminds me of like the like internet speeds and like computer speeds and stuff. I'm like, how fast do you need your fucking internet to go? For certain things, I get it.
No, but like for my gaming. So I looked it up actually. I don't know a lot about it, but Valorant, for those of you who don't know, is a multiplayer first-person shooter. And especially in that game, it relies on you being very accurate. And so, like, basically, you want the best connection possible to the server so that the instantaneous information of when you fire your gun and whether or not you're accurate has to be, like, in sync or whatever. And they even have, like, big events, and they play on LAN, where they're all just connected by a wire, so there is no latency. This is the game, like, with all of us on the same exact level. Yeah. But with ping, with your... the way it works is your computer tells the other computer, which is called the server, and it basically keeps everyone on the same page. It's basically like a computer that maps the game state at every second and sends it to everyone. Yeah. Not literally every second, but so it sends your information to the server, then the server sends everybody back all of the information of every player in the lobby. And so I learned that recently, which is why I really wanted to explain it for everyone.
Fair enough. I'm glad you got the chance.
We have when I'm playing here at our apartment, I have like 20 to 30 millisecond ping. Mm-hmm. So that's like 20 milliseconds. Information's constantly being transferred in order to play an accurate first-person shooter multiplayer game. Yeah. And just like remembering, like in 2004, the amount of time it took to load. Like, God forbid you were like stupid enough to try to watch a video.
You accidentally clicked the link and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. And then you're stuck. You have to start over. Like, it was like, no, sorry, can't do that. And like conked out.
Yeah, your computer's like, I'm fighting for my life here. If you try to close this page right now, I'm catching on fire.
It just broke.
Yeah.
And nowadays, if your web page takes more than like 3 seconds to load, you're like, yo, what's up?
Literally.
What's up, dude? Like, what's going on?
I catch myself all the time. It takes 2 seconds to load. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't have time for this. But yeah, no, I remember like being a kid and playing Webkins and like, just it taking forever to load.
But yeah, but what are we going to do because what was it? Well, AI pictures are quickly getting to like photorealism. Yeah. It was like months ago that picture of the Pope
Yeah.
We'll pull it up for historical
Jamie,
purposes.
can you pull that up?
I'm Jamie.
It's me. I'm Jamie.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
Tag yourself. I'm Jamie. Yeah.
And people just thought it. The first time I saw this scrolling through, I was like, they said the Pope or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I mean,
I had no doubt.
it's 2023.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
I thought that was real.
But yeah, it looks like fucking real, and you could. Well, and of course they all like. Everybody's like talking about whether or not this guy's. I think that guy's. Wow, look at that swag, dude.
Is that him?
Oh, is this AI?
God.
We're doing it right now. Look at how
it.
swagged out this Pope looks right now. That can't be real.
I fucking hate this. I hate that life now.
He looks so good.
Dude. Yeah,
he looks fucking pimped out,
yeah,
dude.
That's sick. He looks crisp. And then an actual picture of him, and you're like, oh, God.
Is this him? Is this still AI? What's real anymore? Anyways.
Dude.
We're approaching that thing.
over it.
And like imagine when it gets to the point where full movies are auto-generated.
Dude, don't even talk to me about that.
Full you put in a script, and then you could have like a second section where you would like put in this character, and then like you could put in like details about them, but since it's AI, you would just have to write it. And like you write out the whole script, the whole movie, and then you could probably do like second and third passes on it after it generates it and say, generate this differently. Continue, but like you could have full with voices because they can just generate voices now.
Yeah.
Like everything could be auto-generate. Like within probably like 5 years, it could probably be like, build your own movie. We're not going to watch real fucking actors make movies anymore. It's going to auto-generate. It's fuck you trying to design the whole thing. It's going to do it by itself. You could say, roll me, AI movie 47, whatever the app's going to be called, and then it'll auto-generate you a movie. Boom. First person in the world to watch that movie. It's your movie. You're the only person who's ever going to watch that movie because everyone's watching their own movies.
Right.
Can you imagine? Because it could just...
People are going to make weird shit with that. I love how your mind goes to like, oh, they're going to make movies. I'm like, they're going to make... they're going to make messed up stuff.
What am I looking up?
Look up Instagram.
Instagram.
And then it's
Oh, I have to go to Instagram.
I guess.
Oh.
You could have done either.
Okay.
If you search we are...
One word?
Yep. Same word. ARADA. It's that top one. The AI generation that I have seen from this page, scroll down a little bit to keep scrolling. Look at these.
This?
Pull them up. Yeah. Scroll through them. This next one, you're fucking kidding me.
They got the fingers right. That's the big thing.
I know. That's why I freaked out the first time I saw it. That is an AI generated photo.
Look, the crease right above with this.
Yeah.
As if he's actually leaning on it.
And then like go to the next one.
Is that two of him?
Yeah. So I was looking through this page because I just like some of them I just couldn't believe it, but that one like the phone's messed up. You can tell.
Yeah, it could pass as something unique, but it's not a real phone.
Yeah. That one, his claws are a little weird, but
well, yeah. Okay, and over here you can kind of see the generation kind of.
Yeah.
But wow, the muscles, the actual... I mean, they have tons of pictures of him. They could just rip this from wherever.
Right.
This actually might just be a real photo of him.
But to make it like... Okay, and then...
This one being slightly out of focus is like... As if he's like on a like
he looks like
sitcom.
He's on an 80s sitcom or like like Full House. That is an episode of Full House.
That doesn't quite look like him.
No.
That one's like I think they just took a picture from the internet of him.
Yeah, some of
the AI was like, this is fine, we'll use this.
Some of them, yeah, the face is a little off.
Oh, that looks like that other actor.
Isn't that crazy?
That looks like a different actor that I'm thinking of, kind of. Maybe he's just everyman, you know?
He's an everyman's man.
He's an everyman AI. I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
This one's really good. How did he get it with the gloves, too?
I know.
And they look like so fake real.
Right?
It's like perfect. Like as if he's just playing around. He's like, check out my knives. Oh, and then look, there's like blood back here.
I saw that. I was like, what the fuck?
We're looking at AI images of
guys.
a Wolverine in pink latex set in the 80s. Like Hugh Jackman Wolverine.
Yeah, and if you go back and like look at some of these other ones.
Oh, like, his thing is the pink latex.
Yeah, the pink latex is the thing. And some of them are pretty...
Look at the heart. Look at the Iron Man's heart.
Oh my god. Yassified Tony Stark. Oh my.
Oh, that one's amazing.
Hell yeah. Oh, work.
Oh, it's like pink and blue spray painted or something.
Yeah.
And he's like
that pose.
Really done up.
Oh. God, sometimes AI.
A little cameo.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
What is happening here?
What happened? I can't remember which one it was that I saw, but like they're so crazy. And it's only getting better. That's the thing, is like
Yoda.
Like what scares me is that I don't think AI could have done this a couple months ago. Like made it look like this. And we all know that. We know that it just is going to get better and better and better. And the more people use it, the more it's just like every time you type a prompt into AI, you're basically like taking it to the gym. You're like, what? This is, I don't know what I'm looking at right now. Yoda in Bollywood. That's the comment. Why on earth would you think?
He looks plastic.
Yeah.
It probably is pulling. He's Indian down here, though.
Yeah. Plastic up here, Indian down here.
Whoa.
Oh.
That's creepy. A little, I don't know. Some finger things going on. Yeah. AI's really worked out the fingers. I think
the hands, yeah.
I bet the hands are tough to generate, but the I wonder if the AI companies were like, yo, hands and fingers are our weakness right now, and we need to like work that out. Or if AA like figured it out, I was like, all right, I got you on the fingers.
Yeah, so that Wolverine one really got me.
Well, like, yeah, the beginning of this year, AI couldn't come close to this.
No, that's the thing. Like, look at the hand. Like, the costume. The costume alone, like, gets me. I'm like...
But that's what they're talking about with exponential growth, where it's, you think like, oh, it's going to consistently change and adapt over time or whatever. And it's like, no, it's going to be like insane, way faster than you thought.
Like, that's not a real picture? You're kidding. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it started
Wait, go back. Jason Momoa is in a pink sort of latex garb holding a fish that may or may not... It's I don't know about this fish. I don't know if the AI was like, we need a real fish or a fake fish, because they keep doing plastic stuff where it should be real.
It looks like a fake fish. It's
but
probably because they prompted it to do that. I know.
His shirt is wet from the fish.
Fuck.
See? And you can see through it.
You can see his little nipple.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, because it started... Oh my god, that's so fucking weird. It started with like art being very convincing, and like drawings, cartoons, you know, like people AI generated cartoons and they looked they looked amazing, but then you would try to, generate a realistic looking image like this and you'd be like, yeah, no, like it's close, but I can tell. And with these, like, honestly, I'm looking at that and I'm like, there's nothing in that image that I think I'd be able to, like, really tell you how, like, that it was AI generated.
Yeah.
It'd be really hard,
Well, look up here too. At the top of this door frame, there's a section as if the construction came up straight, and then they have an arch piece.
Yeah,
just like a
shadow,
just like a real house. And then the shadow of him walking in, ironically, kind of looks like a dolphin. Do you see what I'm?
Yeah.
See what I'm? Because he's Aquaman.
Yeah. I got it.
But yeah, no, it looks like totally real. And just imagine this moving and talking in a movie that you just generated with Jason Momoa's voice, because they can do that.
Yeah, well, and right now AI generated movies sound so absurd, but it's right around the corner.
Is that where this podcast is gonna go? We're not gonna review movies. We're gonna create them, and
yeah. This whole podcast, we're gonna AI generate ourselves one day.
Well, we're gonna AI generate ourselves in a movie about this podcast.
Yep.
And then critique it on the podcast.
Well, so I was watching an episode of Kill Tony, which I've showed you now.
Yeah.
It's like a live comedy podcast thing. And they had an episode where it was with Duncan Trussell. Yeah. And he had his little alter ego, Little Hobo, the puppet that he uses. And he was joking. He was like, I can do impressions of like the different comedians and stuff. And basically when the puppet would like joke that he was doing impressions, it was just AI generated voices of these comedians. And oh my God, because the last time I heard an AI generated voice, I could tell. And with these, I could not tell.
Yeah.
The only reason I could tell that it was fake is because one of them was the host, Tony Hinchcliffe, apologizing for a joke that he made. And he didn't do that. Like because he almost was like, he was like real canceled by China for making a racist Chinese joke, which he does, but he never apologized, nothing like that. It was a whole thing. I'm not going to go into it, but he, like, the AI generated voice was like, I made a lapse in judgment. I'm so terribly sorry, like, to the people of China and stuff. And like, he would never say that. And that's the only reason I was like, oh, it's AI generated, because it's the cadence and the tone changes and just everything. It sounded so real. And then he did it with multiple other comedians that were on the show, and they all were like freaked the fuck out. They were like, how did you do that? Because it's like at this point it's indistinguishable.
Yeah.
If someone has enough audio clips of you, which with comedians all they do is talk, so of course they have enough.
It's like clean audio.
But yeah, it's like if people have enough audio of you, like, it's indistinguishable. Like, they can make you say anything. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna get we're gonna long for the days where you picked up the phone, no caller ID, and some insanely thick Indian accent is asking for your email way too fast. And you're like, yeah, I knew they were a human though.
Yep, I did.
I knew they were human.
I knew they were
You
human.
can definitely tell.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because soon
at least
it's
they were
like,
human.
It's gonna be like, hello, Victoria. Can I speak to you about your, like, whatever? It's gonna be so professional. It's gonna be like, I just want to talk to a real person.
Yeah.
There is some like text to speech stuff already on like TikTok and everything that's very convincing.
Oh,
it's scary.
I wonder if society comes up with like safe words. Can you imagine the future where, let's imagine like far future where humans never stop, because they probably won't, and then we get like basically humanoid with like some type of like skin humans that have AI installed and just walk around, right? And so like imagine if there was like some type of like safe word to use, where it was almost like a rule where like if you ask an AI, it always has to tell you it's an AI, right? Because like, and I don't know if that's something that would ever actually happen because people would want to use AI to bamboozle people or whatever. But like
there would have to be something
if there were a safe word that, you know, you could just say, you know, enter passive mode or like
override,
like a question. Like you could ask like a question, like, you know, what does the rainbow smell like? And then that would be like the trigger to repeat a line that AI has to say to acknowledge that it's an AI.
Yeah.
You know, that would be interesting.
Crazy. Yeah, I don't know. One day AI is going to be making porn for us, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Then human exploitation is done. Yay!
Porn stars everywhere are mad.
Yeah, taking their jobs.
You can't even go on strike when AI takes your job.
Why?
Well, because that's what people do. Like, we're not working until we get a union going.
Oh, yeah,
we're not working until you make this happen.
You're right.
And it's like, oops, there's your job. You're like, we're not working.
Fuck.
At all.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Like,
yeah, and then the companies are like, actually, we were looking for a reason to fire you, and like, but you did it yourself. Cool. Like, thanks. We're gonna have this robot do it instead.
Yeah, and but yeah, like talking about live events too. People have been saying that that's like where things are starting to happen because it's the only thing you can like as of right now. Still, it's one of the only things you can trust.
Yep.
Because online now we have all this technology where it could be like, you know, your mom saying your dad died and we need you to like do this. And it's like, I'm not worried about AI itself. I really am not. I'm worried about all the people who are going to use AI for bad things. And that's where it gets bad. But, you know, but yeah, just the stages of technology. It would be crazy to imagine a world. Well, I'll say in Hyperion, the sci-fi novels that I've been reading, in the far future, when they do have like AI android humanoids walking around, their skin is always blue, so you can tell that they're an AI. So it's like they don't like, you know, make them look just like human. It's like they're always blue. So yeah, we'd probably eventually have something like that. But it could be crazy. Can you imagine in 40 years if we have like some sort of like AI catastrophe? It's like not that AI is sentient and tries to kill us all, but like, you know, people's AIs start like something happens and it's like really bad and we have to like reform.
I know. Yeah. I don't know. It's a new type of technology, but then again, everything was a new type of technology when it came out, and so it's hard to know how bad it's gonna be.
I wonder if we've had any other exponential increases in the past, because that's one thing about AI that makes it a little more unique, is like it's exponential.
Well, technological development has always been exponential.
Well, like even with like the Industrial Revolution and like steam engines. Okay.
Yeah, like the more you innovate, the more you innovate. It like increases the essentially, but that's why, because it was like for however many thousands of years with humans, it was like slight increases, and then all of a sudden it just starts going up, and we're like up here now. Yeah, it's why like it seems like nothing was happening for so long in human history, you know, and then all of a sudden just boom. Because yeah, once you start developing technologies at all, even if it is just, you know, engines or just the Industrial Revolution, that's when it really started. They're to blame.
It's interesting. I was thinking about with Boogie Nights with the VHSs. I was thinking about, can you imagine like teleporting some guy from a porn shop buying 10 VHSs in like the 80s to like today? But he's like, so like he gets teleported to now, sort of, but he's still as old as he would be if he just lived, sort of. But just like showing him like, yeah, like for the same price as those 10 VHSs, every month I get infinite music, videos, some movies and infinite porn
Yeah.
on this thing right here. It's just one thing. It does it all. And being like, God fucking damn it. I thought my era was cool.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, that's,
and like,
that's crazy.
if you go forward and like whatever that is from like 88 to 2023, 35 years.
Yeah.
You're just agreeing with me, aren't you?
With the math part.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like,
but in 35 years.
just hypothetically in 10, 20, 30 years, whatever.
35 years.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
65. I'm throwing my iPhone 8 Plus on the ground and saying, God damn it, you guys are such cooler shit than me.
Yeah.
What is that going to be? You know what I mean?
I don't even think we can comprehend.
I know, but I want to know. I can't wait. It's going to be like crazy. You're going to be like, God, this is insane.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do think it goes the other way too, because you think back to that time, there was like kind of a sweet spot, right? There's probably like a nice sweet spot where like technology started really accenting your life, but it wasn't like we all have phones, we all need email, we all need to stay tied to this, we all need to do this. We have cameras everywhere. Everyone knows your location all the time. Everyone has digital data on you all the time. So like before that was like when people still had like filing cabinets and like shit was like, but you had TV, you know, like, and like whatever else. There's probably a sweet spot in there somewhere.
Honestly, the 2000s were pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of problems happening, but like, and maybe I just say that because I was alive for it, but it feels like it. I envy times before that too, but like, you know, just looking back at my childhood and being like, yeah, like everything was easier to an extent, but it wasn't like always accessible, and it wasn't like force fed to you. You know, it was like, yeah, you can. I think it was just a little bit. Technology was still kind of a novelty thing, like with phones and stuff. It was like all the apps were like those goofy apps that like, you know, the little koi pond that me and my cousin were talking about. We were like, fuck, that was so sick. It was like there was no reason for it. It just was a thing because you had a touch screen now and it was fucking crazy. And like, you know, people still did use landlines, and like there was a lot of stuff that was still quote unquote analog, like we talked about that one time. But like things were like, it felt like technology was, it was a very beneficial thing at the time. You know, email became really popular, and so it was like we don't even have to send letters anymore. We just can type it in and email it, and like, you know, everyone's being connected and like the internet and all this stuff. And then we're in a weird time right now of just like it went a little too far. But yeah,
it's going way further.
There is stuff like
stopping.
There's stuff that is a lot better now. Kind of like you said, but I think if we went back, there's so much in the 80s or in the 70s or whatever that is like so much better, you know, like the quality of items, the quality of food, you know, that kind of stuff. Like I know when I showed you the 11/22/63 thing with James Franco, and when he goes back in time and is like, I'll have an apple pie, like I'll have a pie slice please, and he like eats it and he's like, holy shit, this is like the best fucking pie I've ever had. And she, working at this like tiny nothing diner, was like, very funny, dude, like it's the best pie you've ever had. Yeah, but it really was, because it was that good. And like,
real sugar, real ingredients.
He pulls over on the side of the road and eats a shuck of corn because he's just like, holy shit, everything tastes so good. You know, the quality of clothing, just the quality of connection and like life and like genuine connection. You know, I think that we've traded things to have the luxuries we do now, for sure. And it's kind of hard to be like, you know, would I rather live in that time or this time, you know? Because in ways, I think sometimes I'd like to. There are things that I really envy about the past, and I think mainly with human connection and stuff, and like just not having access to people all the time. I feel like that could be really harmful to people, to just have constant access to everyone all the time. But at the same time, there's things I think about where I'm like, damn, like they were kind of sexist or like, you know, damn, they like still had a lot of shit to figure out, you know?
Well, yeah, there's no time period that's better.
No.
It's just different, and it goes through different things.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, with Boogie Nights, I think it's like, even now, it's just kind of like very interesting and cool to have that sort of historical. It's not historical, it's fiction.
Yeah.
But it is probably, like you said, a fairly accurate snapshot of stuff that was happening around that time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, to compare that in the 90s and then compare that now in the 2020s is like, you know, super interesting.
Yeah.
But
one of my favorite things is to like, I know some people aren't really interested in history, which is wild to me. I just don't.
people who aren't interested in history probably just have a bad taste with history, because like sometimes in school the way they teach history is like they don't tell you these like crazy stories in the way they impacted the world. They're like, remember this person on this date for this reason, and you're like, okay, and then you go home and play video games, and they're not like,
when did the Louisiana Purchase happen? It's like, I don't give a fuck.
It's like, tell me a story of why the Louisiana, like if you told history through story, people would like all think it was dope.
I had teachers that did, and it was so fun. There are things that I will never forget about history because of the way that my teachers presented it.
Yeah.
Like there are stories I will never forget, and like random fun facts that I will always have because of the way they taught it.
That was not my story with AP European history. It was like, the thing was you had to make all these flashcards of all the royalty in Europe and when they were born and when they ruled.
You'll definitely need that one day.
And I was like, why do I have this stack? Like, is this what makes me smart? Is this an AP class? I have to memorize this stack of fucking shitheads from history.
I know.
And that's it. And I don't know if it was, I don't think I ever did it at the time, but there's stuff I learned after that where I was like, oh yeah, I really like history. History is really interesting to learn about, and I really like it. And I was like, that class was not history. That class was like, memorize this.
It was like memorization, and like, you know, if you become a historian, you have to know that kind of stuff, like all the names, all the stuff. But it's like, yeah, for just someone, like, it is far more important for someone to learn about history in a way that makes them remember it and like, you know, understand it. Like that's the whole point of teaching history, is so people, you know, understand the past, not for them to remember Queen Elizabeth's daughter's name.
It felt like,
you know?
all those dead rich royalty just paid the future to have a book about them where people had to remember them.
I want
it
a
was
whole
like
class dedicated to me. And
someone's
my kin.
forcing me to learn about this and make it important, when I'm like, what, you know, it's history, it matters, but like, what am I doing here? It was crazy.
I think, so with that, people who don't like history, it's wild, but I get it to an extent. But I think one of the main reasons I love history so much is looking at it from a present tense lens, you know, and like analyzing why that happened at the time, and like maybe why it wouldn't happen now, or, you know, what it caused to happen now and stuff like that. Like I love looking back at things, and I think I really like looking back at like the weird shit they did, because they like, you know, like the types of cosmetics they used, or the fact that like cigarettes were like, they were like, smoke cigarettes while you're pregnant, it helps the baby, and you're like, holy shit. It was a crazy time. But those are kind of more like surface level examples. I'm like super into kind of the like the different movements that, and like just different historical events that happened at a time where it feels like that was the only time that it could have happened. And I think the 70s, it really did feel like, you know, the golden age of porn couldn't have happened at any other time.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes sense, you know?
Well, and I was going to say earlier, something you said reminded me, because it was like, yeah, that was his big thing. The director's big thing was, I'm going to make like this story, and it's going to be like amazing. You know, it's not just about like, it's going to be a masterpiece, and it's not just going to be people fucking. It's going to be like this artful masterpiece of like porn. Like, it's going to be the thing.
Yeah,
and
Burt Reynolds' character.
Yeah. I don't remember his name, but
I forget now. But yeah.
But yeah, that was like his deal, and like, you know, that's that time. Like, that's what. And now it's like not. Now it's like people are on OnlyFans and just doing crazy stuff, like just whatever. I mean, I don't even know.
I don't really get
half
any
of
of
Instagram is just porn.
The amount of shit I see on my Explore page.
I don't go on Instagram.
Like,
I just know that that's the case.
I'm like, when have I ever shown interest in this type of content? And you're just like forcing it in my face. I'm like,
well,
there are
every
kids
app
on this app.
That's the thing too, is every app is competing for attention, because the time you're on Instagram, you can't be on YouTube, and if you're on YouTube, you can't be on TikTok, and if you're on TikTok, then you can't be on any of the other infinite amount of apps out there who all are doing the most they can to get our attention. Yep. So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna like it's probably for the men. Men probably wouldn't spend as much time on TikTok if there weren't girls on it. Because girls like the, I don't know.
Girls do the same thing. There's a lot of girls on there just for the cute boys too.
Well, fair enough. But I don't think, from what I think it's hard for me to say. I can't make too many generalizations because I don't like social media and I don't get on. The only time I get on is when you send me stuff. And every time else, I'm like, I have notifications. I think someone messaged me. I have to respond
you do watch
and get
YouTube,
off.
Though, which is kind of a different kind of social media.
Well, but that's different. That's my point, is I'm thinking there's probably more guys who wouldn't just be on Instagram for the social benefit of being on Instagram if there weren't pretty girls on it. Because being social like that is much more of like a feminine thing.
Yeah.
Barring the whole like Instagram is part of my job because I have to promote and whatever, and so everyone kind of takes part in it for that too. Yeah. But if people didn't try to like do business on Instagram, it would be mostly girls, unless there were.
You saw that back in like 2011, 2012 when it first started popping up everywhere, like when Instagram became really popular. But creating content wasn't necessarily like a profitable thing yet. Like, so many creators were girls, and not to say that there weren't guys out there, of course there were, but like, and the type of stuff that us girls would share, and like even on YouTube, just being like, do my makeup with me, like get ready with me, like what's in my makeup bag, or like, that's so sexist to say, I didn't mean it like that, that's just what I used to watch. Or like, you know, house tour, or like come shopping with me, or let's eat together, or whatever. Like, it's so much of a like a let's just experience this together, like I want to share my life with you type thing. Or like, you know, on Instagram, just posting pictures of like what you had to drink that day, or like, you know, whatever. It's that's not what I watch on YouTube. So much more popular with girls and women, you know, the experience sharing. Which is what YouTube and Instagram started as, and then people were like, holy shit, we can make money off of this, and then it changed after that. But what were you gonna say? I don't watch that kind of stuff on YouTube. I used to watch like vloggers, but that's not quite the same as like the type of stuff you're talking about. And like, I mostly watch like educational type stuff where I'm learning about something, or like whatever game I'm playing, I'm learning how to play the game better, or I'm like, you know, whatever. But, you know, again, can't generalize across everyone about how men and women are different. But yeah, generally, I think that's funny about Instagram, because it's like, but, you know, just how it related in with the porn and then and the girls on Instagram. It's true. I think a lot of guys spend so much time on social media because of the girls.
Well, and trying to talk to them too, because the girls are there because they want to be there, they want to be social, and then the guys are like, where are the girls? Oh, they're here, I gotta make a profile and be here. Slide into these DMs, you know.
I know, that's funny.
Which reminds me, we talked about how like if I had just asked you out on a date you probably wouldn't have gone with me. And if you did, it probably wouldn't have worked.
Right.
Like the reason like we worked is because we were so different, and like since we worked together, we just had to be near each other and figure it out. And but yeah, and talking about that, and like if
because we were talking about like dating apps and how it feels very inorganic, because if we met on a dating app and just went on a date, it would have gone terribly.
Well, we'd both have to swipe right, which who knows how we're feeling that day.
Right.
And if who knows on that. And then we'd have to actually go out, and then there'd be a pretense of it's a dating app.
Yeah.
And then, and
we're here to be in a romantic setting, which is already so awkward with someone you've never met before.
Right. What do you want, and what do I want,
weird.
and how fast do we talk about that, and do we want to talk about that? And and
just
so
how much we disagreed in a lot of things. It's like
we still do sometimes.
Yeah. Well, but like on a first date, it's like it's gonna be a vibe killer almost immediately if you're, But since we worked together and just got to know each other and like did disagree but agreed on other stuff and just kind of enjoyed being around each other, it was so much more organic and so much more like it happened because it was supposed to happen, not because we were like, I'm going on a date with you now because that's what we're supposed to do because we met on a dating site, and then hopefully there's sparks, whatever the fuck sparks means, because everyone says that. They're like, there was no sparks. It's like, what does that even mean? Anyways, I am lucky that every single person I have dated, I have been very good friends with for a while before I dated them. So I know it's not, it's not a common experience anymore.
Well, not as common.
Not as common.
And I wonder how many people.
Why were we talking about that?
What?
Keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry.
And I wonder how many people there are who like are on dating sites and like have people in real life they could go date that they know.
Right.
But they're like, I'm waiting for my app to tell me who I matched
literally, our coworker, I set her up with someone who was like, he's great, and she just never texted him again. I was like, all right, you didn't even try, but okay. I get it though. It's scary.
It's scary. And sometimes that's what it takes to meet somebody. And on the other side of the coin, it's like, yeah, sometimes it's great. It's like, well, I probably wouldn't have run into this person, but now we're together, it worked.
Yeah.
It did its thing. Like, it's not all bad. It has a bad stigma for a lot of really good reasons, but sometimes it works.
Yeah. Well, and I think, like dating sites can absolutely work for people. Like meeting in person can absolutely work, whatever, but it is interesting. I'd be curious to ask, like I would love to see a survey of couples who didn't meet on dating apps, like older couples or people like us, and ask like, do you think you would have swiped right on a dating app for this person? And then if they said yes, be like, okay, cool. If that happened and you went on a date, do you think you would have gone on a second date? Like, think of when you first met them. Do you honestly think that you would have tried to pursue that with them? And I guarantee you a lot of times the answer would be no.
Probably. Well, because if life brings you together naturally by like meeting someone, it's usually not like, funny enough, we've been talking about so many movies. It's usually not just like a movie.
Yeah.
You
don't see them and go,
but you're almost with meeting up from a dating app, you're almost like expected to, there's like a certain pretense that it just puts over everything.
Yeah.
And like, cause even if you like ask somebody on a date that or that you met or whatever, it doesn't have to be like we're going on a date from a dating app where we both put in our profile that we want to be in a long-term relationship. It's like,
so,
hey, by the way, I know we've been seeing each other here. Like, I'm going to this show later. Do you want to come with me? Like, or like, I'm meeting up with some friends at this bar. Do you want to come hang out? Like, and then it's like, I want to spend time with you, but it's not like, let's go on a date. I'm romantically charged about this situation and want to know an answer about something or whatever,
Well, and it's not people's, I want to make it clear, I'm not faulting anyone that uses dating apps. or that, because I know that sometimes that's like, that feels like the only option and everything. I think just more so from the perspective of most of the people I've dated, I wasn't immediately romantically attracted to them.
I am against dating apps.
It makes me sad because I'm like, I think of all of the first dates from Bumble or Hinge or whatever, where in another life, in another circumstance, those two would have made an amazing pair. But because first impressions are kind of everything in that situation, like that could be it, and you never talk to them again. You know, it sucks, and it's not their fault. It's like, what you're supposed to give this random guy, like, you know, be like, he was kind of weird on the first date, but like, let's try to hang out with him more. It's like most of the time you're not going to do that, and I don't fault people for not pursuing someone that maybe they weren't immediately attracted to, especially on dating sites, because there are also people out there that are just wasting your time, you know, whatever. I know it's confusing. I am against dating apps if we didn't have like a loneliness epidemic, you know, because I think that it's becoming harder and harder for people to meet organically. And so it like, in ways I'm like, I understand the demand for it and like the want of ways to connect with people. But in a perfect world, I hate it. I hate all of that. It makes me sad that there's probably plenty of connections that went missed because you're not going to pursue a second date with people. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like we were saying about technology in general being good or bad, or like hitting kind of like a danger point, or like a weird point, but then like we're going to move past it eventually. Things will work themselves out because that's just how it goes. But with dating apps and with like technology, it's not. It's like so much of our lives, which would have been happening in social settings, in places where you had to go talk to people and go do stuff. Now that's all just moved online. A percentage of that is moved online. And so, it's all changed. But I think like, say there's someone that you like that first of all, with dating sites, it like broadens the amount of choices that you would potentially get in a kind of, because you could look all over, which is like, is that the right thing to do necessarily? Because like, you could meet someone and then move together, but like you're taking two people with two totally different lives and then making it work somehow somewhere new for at least one of them, right? So it's like kind of like this weird thing. But like, if you on the reverse, when you like have someone in real life that you think is attractive, or that's a friend, or that you like want to get to know better, it's like you have to be a real person to them. And you have to figure out, like, if you're a guy, it's like, well, should I be funny? If I'm funny, like, do I do this? It's like you kind of have to work for it. And then like for a girl, it's like, well, I gotta do this to try and like make sure he knows that I like him, or this or that or whatever. It's like you have to like kind of put in some work to be like, hey, like, I'm interested in you, like, what's up, like, let's do something about it. And now it's like, that's the whole process.
It's like, I'm into you.
It's like, because
I swiped.
Message
I did the
me.
bare minimum.
Message. You're cute. Message me.
Well,
no, I don't like you.
I will say,
it's like,
it's very,
and again, I feel bad because there are people in both of our lives and our life who have successful like dating app relationships. So it works.
There's
stuff
you that
that
my
works.
aunt and uncle met on eHarmony?
Yeah, and then Hunter and Sam. I got it.
You got it.
Hunter and Sam. So it does work. It's like, it's not that it doesn't work, but the amount of like bad experiences, I mean, that I have personally from being on dating apps, and just like, and
I've never been on one, so I don't know.
Oh yeah.
We talked about it like when we first
horrible.
started hanging out. You were like showing me people's profiles and like what they said, and I was like, oh God, like this is so weird. It's so weird.
And it's so bad. It's so bad for so many reasons that we don't have. That's a whole other podcast.
Well,
put that on the list of Tim said it's for another podcast, and we're gonna do a podcast on it.
Well, so honestly, I think personally, like, I think that dating apps, no matter what, like, I'm not saying some should be, some shouldn't. I think dating apps, no matter what, you should have to pay to be on them.
Yeah.
I think you should, because that is proof of like, hey, I want to be here on this app. Like, I want to put myself out there, and I'm willing to spend money to be on this app You know, I'm not just trying to like, you know, and I mainly say that because recently I started looking on Upwork for just kind of freelance stuff. And basically what you have to do, at least from what I understand, because I did some research on it today, but you have to basically use what's called connects to apply to certain jobs from clients, and they're essentially credits like on the site. And so it's basically like that's how, so it takes credits for people to post their listings, so you know that they are serious, but it also takes credits for you to apply, so that they know that you're serious too. It's like I have a finite amount of currency. You can buy more credits, but you get an allotted amount, I think, every month. And so it's like, you know, that shows the employer too, like, hey, I'm applying with this finite amount of resources that I have on this app, so you know that I'm serious. And the way that they explained it in their like policies and terms and stuff is like, think of it as like when someone in person takes you out on a business lunch. It's like they're willing to spend money and time talking to you to kind of establish like, I want a work relationship with you. So they were like, kind of think of it as that, because that means that people can't just spam applications and whatever. And so I almost think like, you know, because dating apps, I think that there can totally be apps for the people who want to just hook up. Do I agree with that? Not really, but they should get their own app. And then the people that actually want like serious relationships, I feel like there should be like a whole slew of questions. I know eHarmony, I don't know if they're still like that, but I know they used to be like that. You had to fill out like everything about yourself, you know, to get matched with the right people. And it wasn't up to you who you matched with. They matched for you.
Yeah.
Which is also, I think, super helpful, because then you're not just basing it off of looks. If I remember correctly, when my aunt met my uncle and was like kind of trying to talk to, like, you know, they went on dates and stuff. If I remember right, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like she was like, he's really short. Like, and I don't know if I can do it. But then she was already at the date and was talking to him and was like, this guy's fucking amazing. You know, like it's, because you can't just base it off of looks either. And with apps like Tinder and stuff, it's like, that's all that there is to it. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't like how someone looks and you swipe, you could have really missed a great opportunity, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it'll sort itself out, but it's so strange. And we need a new iteration of a Boogie Nights style movie.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the plot is it follows an OnlyFans girl who has a boyfriend who she met on Tinder, and they upload to Pornhub, and their friends at high school watch their porn, and they have to figure out how to explain to their parents what they do for a living. And, you know, it's set in San Francisco, where there's also Zombieland of homeless people, just all in one movie. And
it's all going to be AI generated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We've got it.
That's the next iteration.
Why'd you bring up California and Zombieland?
It's been on my mind. I just inserted it randomly because it's just...
You just really wanted it.
It needs a setting, you know?
It's kind of like you explaining your Valorant pinging. You were like, I got to get this out. I got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we need a modern day Boogie Nights. Call it... what should we call it? I'm blanking on every word that has ever existed in this moment. You look kind of disgusted. Are you going through things in your head? And you're like, ew.
We could call it like Only Hub. I kept trying to put them together and put nights. Only Hub Nights.
Man, yeah, no, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, because it's changed so much.
Right.
You know?
It's so different now. And yeah, it's like... Yeah, I guess one good thing is that the stigma around sex work has definitely gotten better.
Yeah.
That is one positive of it becoming so mainstream and, you know, kind of saturated, is that, you know, if you shame a sex worker, like, you're shamed. You know, like, no one's like, hell yeah, brother, like, get those sluts. It's like, no, like, people are fucking pissed, as they should be, because it's like, no one no one deserves to be treated any less because of their job. It's like, at the end of the day, they're making money, they're doing it to make a living. It's like, it's valid. Do you have to agree with it? No, but you don't have to make them feel bad. Like, about the people that they are. They're not bad people.
I mean, sex work in some way, shape, or form has been around. They call it the oldest profession. And everybody's going to have a different moral outlook on what's right and what's wrong about it.
Yeah.
So, that part of it's tough. I wonder how Boogie Nights was received by audiences in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm curious.
But, they do, it is, well, they didn't really do it in the movie, but I've heard tons of stories about girls who like get out of it and they're like, it was just really bad,
Yeah.
So
girls especially get taken advantage of a lot and kind of like almost like tricked into doing stuff, and it's just it's really slimy.
There's something really it's kind of like how I feel about polyamory. I'm like, if you want to make it work and everybody's doing great and it works, then sure, I guess, like if everybody's fine, like I don't see like what the big deal is, but just doesn't seem to work out.
It's
usually.
Like based on the track record of these things, bad things tend to happen.
Yeah.
Not that they always will happen, but it's like, with like sex work and with polyamory, it's like there are a lot of bad stories out there.
Yeah.
It's like that you got to be aware of.
Yep.
But I feel like Boogie Nights is one of those that's kind of hard to talk about because it's so it's so good. And
well, I've noticed this on some of the movies that we've talked about. It's harder for us to talk about stuff. Well, not harder, but we go through movies faster if they were done really well and if we really liked them, and we can highlight all the stuff we liked, but it's easier to pick apart and talk for longer about stuff that we really don't like or that we think is really bad. But that being said, let us know what you guys thought of Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
If you hadn't seen it before, and if you watched it for the podcast. But yeah, I'd give it like a 8.5 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
I mean, you know me, I'm giving it, I would argue it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I have a hard time finding really any flaw in that movie. I
didn't, that number didn't come from anywhere but my intuition.
Yeah,
that's just where I'm putting it. It's probably just personal preference, but yeah, I mean, no huge issues. A lot of times with movies, if there's something off, I'll be like, they did this and this, and like maybe you'll be like, well, that was kind of fun or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, but what about this? And you're like, oh yeah, that kind of sucks. But I didn't have any of those with this movie. Like, it was just great.
Yeah, I think it's harder to analyze really, just because yes, they were telling a story, but it felt like we were just kind of witnessing something happen.
That's why it feels like a little slice of history, sort of, because it was supposed to be a period piece, but like a goofy, funny period piece or whatever. But it was kind of supposed to be like that, and yeah, it just does feel like, because that's how I feel like with the same tone as sort of like Pulp Fiction, where it's like, there's not really like here's your hero and here's the thing we're gonna do, and here's like, like some movies kind of do, which is totally fine. But I feel like, Pulp Fiction and Boogie Nights both kind of have this thing of like, you just kind of join the ride, and then when it's over, and they keep going, and you're gone now.
Right.
Kind of like that. So it's like, really good.
Yeah. It was like, because when Boogie Nights ended, it's like his career was, he had reconciled with all of his old friends and everything, and the last scene is him filming another, like, either a movie, like porn movie or porn scene or whatever. Like, he's like hyping himself up in the mirror, that kind of thing. And that was it. And his story kept going. It wasn't like, yay, all the conflicts are resolved and this is the end of the story. It was like, no, he like, you felt like all of their lives were just going to keep going. And I love that. I love movies like that.
Yeah.
Where, it's like, yep, we got to tune in for this couple year or a couple month, couple hour, whatever experience for these people, and they're going to keep going, Oh, I loved it. And there was just so much intertwining of all the character relationships and everything. And it was just
I liked
so
Buck's
good.
little side story
Oh
of
my
him trying to
God.
start the business,
Yeah.
and him and the other porn star getting together,
Meeting, yeah.
and kind of being together, and the banker telling him he can't get a bank loan because he's a porn star, basically, was like just super interesting. And then like the really dramatic, like almost Tarantino style thing with the donut shop and his story. I really liked his subplot. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I really liked that there were a couple scenes that were very unexpected. The guy shooting himself at the New Year's party. You were like, what? Because his storyline was played up for laughs. Like his wife was always cheating on him. It was like supposed to be funny. And then all of a sudden he shoots himself in front of everyone.
Right.
And, you know, that was super jarring. And then you have, the robbery scene in the donut shop where you're like, what fucking movie am I watching? Like, what is happening? Because, there were certain moments where it felt, it was, you know, just kind of shocking. And you were like, I thought I was watching this kind of movie, but I guess... And that's kind of that. I think that's what made it feel more realistic and lifelike. Is like life doesn't have like a quote unquote theme or like a vibe. It's like it's happy, it's sad, it's scary. You know, there's people dying, there's people having babies, there's people, you know, like making money, doing drugs, but also like going to divorce court and trying to get custody of her kid and crying outside of the courthouse and like literally like all over the place. Yeah, like it just felt like it covered every like emotion.
Also, you said this was one of your like sad girl movies or whatever that you're trying to describe. Remember when I was like trying...
Did I say this one was?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't... Did I say that?
I just now I feel like you just don't want me to... You have this nebulous thing of the movies that you were saying that you liked.
Yeah. So this is definitely one of them that I feel like is kind of more weird. Like I wouldn't just like show this to anyone and be like, isn't it a great movie? Because I think there's a lot going on in it. So I like the more... I really like... I like movies where you can tell that they spent a lot of time on the general aesthetic of the film, as well as I really like set design. I really like costume design, you know, cinematography, that kind of stuff. I feel like I really, really enjoy that. And so I think that a lot of the movies that I enjoy fall into the sad girl category. I don't think Boogie Nights is one of them. I think it is more of like a artsy kind of, you know, film. I think I said The Virgin Suicides, American Beauty, and like stuff like that were my sad girl movies. I don't know if Boogie Nights was a part of that, but I did show it to you because you were like, show me the stuff that you want to show me without worrying what I'm gonna think of it. And Boogie Nights was the first thing I thought of because I was like, what?
I could have sworn that's what you said right after we watched that movie. Or right before we watched it, was you were saying that it was one of those, but...
Well, okay, maybe... Because did I use sad girl? Because I don't think that's a sad girl movie.
Because I was like, this is one of your sad girl movies? Or whatever we've been calling them. And I was like trying to categorize it in my head, and I was like, okay, I think I can start to get a better understanding of what she means. Because like it was really melodramatic.
It was.
And really... And like I understand like what you mean by the tone, because like when you said sad girl movies, I'm like, you know, like I was thinking of a different genre of thing, but I'm trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand.
Sad girl isn't the right word for it, because okay, so we need to come up with a different word.
You're just a sad girl who likes good movies is what I'm realizing. And so we need to just get you to share more movies that you were scared to share, so we can watch them together and make so you're not afraid to share the movies that this sad girl likes.
Yeah. I'm just a sad girl.
I think I figured it out, guys.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. I think that you'll start to see a trend, and it's a hard trend to explain, and maybe you'll be able to explain it because there are... So...
You know what? So I watch a coach on YouTube who does Valorant coaching for people in his Discord. He does it live on stream, and he was explaining something today because they were watching a video of this guy playing a game because he's a streamer, this pro player in Valorant, and so the coach was explaining, look at what he does here, and this and this and this, and then somebody in chat, because the video was playing, and he was like, yeah, but Tens just said this. What about this? Like, or whatever. And he's like, the coach said, you can't listen to him. You can't listen to the player because the player, he's like a savant. He can do it, but he would be like, yeah, you just go fight them. But like,
Yeah.
he can't explain it as well as he can just do it. And he made an allegory. He was like, yeah, it's like Shaq being like, yeah, and then you just dunk and you're like 5'4".
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you go up and you just dunk on him.
Yeah.
And you're like, Shaq, I don't know how.
Yeah. You're like,
like-
Shaq, you're like 7 feet tall.
It's like just
of course
because
you can dunk, bitch.
just because you know how to do it and what it is doesn't mean you can explain it to
Yeah.
other people so they
Yes.
get it.
Yeah. So,
Just
yeah.
dunk.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So, Boogie Nights is one of them. You've seen American Beauty, right?
Mm,
Oh my God.
I don't know. I'm looking up the thing. I don't think I have.
Every time, okay, what keeps happening is
What are these 90s films?
is it just 90s?
Are you just a
Oh my God,
90s
wait.
girl?
I think it is. I think it is just the 90s aesthetic. Oh no.
Kevin
Oh no.
Spacey. Okay, what was the other one you're gonna look up?
Look up the Virgin Suicides. I bet that's in the 90s. Motherfucker.
1999.
Okay, just
So you
late
just like 90s movies. That's what it is.
Okay, and then The Talented Mr. Ripley. You guys are getting spoilers of a lot.
1999. How old
It was
were
the
you?
year I was born.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You like sad girl movies from the year the sad girl was born. That's what it is. You subconsciously were like, this is as old as me.
Hold up. Okay, so hang on. I have in my notes app. I have all the movies I like, and we got to figure this out. I think I figured it out. I like movies where a story is just kind of happening and you're just kind of there.
Yeah.
So American Beauty is a lot like that. It's not like, I think I like movies that kind of divulge from the hero's journey type vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, Boogie Nights is like straight up hero's journey.
right. No, I get that.
Okay.
But like, what I mean is it inherently almost every story is the hero's journey. It's hard not to be. It's just it doesn't feel like it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it.
Would you put Pulp Fiction in your category too?
Yeah. I'd
Because
say
that's what I would think of as a similar vibe to what you're saying, kind of.
Yeah, I'd say Reservoir Dogs is more the vibe. And we just watched that, where it's like, why the fuck is all this happening?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction is good, but I think I like Reservoir Dogs more than Pulp Fiction. That's a hot take of mine.
It was hard for me with Reservoir Dogs, it was hard for me to not see how, in my mind, like how much better Pulp Fiction was. Like his storytelling and like his craft just got honed more.
Yes.
And like, for me, it's like, I think Reservoir Dogs is like amazing, but it's like I see it more of like a historical stepping stone, especially watching it this year like I did for the first time. It's like going back and watching the first one. It's like, oh yeah, obviously, like this is great. This is like where it all started. This is like, you could tell what he was doing, and then he fleshed out how he wanted to do it later on as he's like been making more movies.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, that's my take. It's a hot take.
Yeah, so I like I like moody movies. Can you okay, now I'm scared that a lot of the movies I like just are
They're just
1999.
90s. I cracked the code.
I think it is just 90s movies because Romeo and Juliet is also a 90s movie, the one with
With the
Leonardo
DiCaprio on?
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
God, it's
Probably.
so good.
1996.
Okay, all right, 90s. Heathers. I think that's an 80s movie.
Heathers. 88.
88. I like Jennifer's Body. That was a 2000s movie. Across the Universe is a 90s movie. No, wait, 2000s movie. You won't like that one. It's a musical. But it's a Beatles musical.
That's like doubly worse.
No, it's so good though. That one doesn't fit the mold. I said Across the Universe because it's on my list, but that doesn't fit the mold of the type of movie
I was like, where are we going? This is just movies you like.
Right. Yeah. That's why I was like, never mind.
I'm trying to pinpoint this nebulous sad girl theme.
Okay, can you look up?
I mean, look, that looks like sad girl stuff.
It's so good. Can you look up?
I can look up anything ever invented by humanity. It's the internet. What do you want? What do you want?
Look up Tumblr girl movies. Because now I'm just thinking, do I like just Tumblr girl movies?
I don't think there's a list of.
There isn't. I was wondering.
These are all nebulous things. Okay.
Sad Girls Film Club. Wait. Sad Girls Film Club. Oh my. What is happening? Nope. Never mind. It's just a Tumblr page. What were you gonna say?
This is part of the divine feminine coming through here. There's a nebulous thing we cannot pinpoint down.
I am an enigma.
I don't think we. No, I don't. I just don't. Okay.
Wait, scroll down. I'm sorry.
Guys, she's feeling a lot better. If you couldn't tell, this was not what happened last week.
Let me do a little research while you explain this.
Why explain what? There's nothing to explain. That's what I was explaining.
Give me a second.
It's fine.
Okay, so
it's fine.
All of that to say, I am an enigma.
Yes.
All good movies were created in the year of my birth.
Yeah.
The year of our Lord and Savior.
Only good movies, 99. That's my new Tumblr username.
Yep.
I'm going to make a Tumblr about 99 movies.
Yep. You know, maybe, so,
Let's look up all movies made in 1999.
I'm kind of curious of how many I like.
Let's see what we find.
Maybe we're on to something.
I was 6 in 99.
Yeah.
The Blair Witch Project. That's a... Eyes Wide Shut. American Pie. Fight Club.
American Beauty.
The Matrix.
The Matrix. The Green Mile. Jesus.
Star Wars Episode 1. Phantom Menace.
Talented Mr. Ripley. Hit after hit.
Sixth Sense. God. The Mummy.
Cruel Intentions. Girl Interrupted. Virgin Suicides. She's all that. Oh my God. Austin
The
Powers.
Boondock Saints.
Wow. Yeah.
Disney's Tarzan.
There were bangers.
I think Double Jeopardy's good. I don't know.
Wow. Some of the best movies of all time.
Toy Story 2.
That's one of them.
The Iron Giant.
That's another one of them.
I think movies might have peaked in 99, guys.
Guys.
I think this might have been
born. What
the
did
peak.
I tell you?
Should we look up the movies made when I was born?
Yeah, 1993. Let's do it.
Movies.
But I'm a Cheerleader was in 1999, dude.
93.
All right,
Groundhog Day.
Great start.
Jurassic Park. Full circle from the mail from my mom. Jurassic Park. That was the one.
Oh wait,
look, proof.
That would
receipts.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was telling the truth. It was Jurassic Park.
You are Schindler's List. Jesus Christ. Tombstone. Tombstone's a really good movie.
The Firm. What are these movies?
All right. Well, clearly I have the superior birth year for movies.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. Sandlot.
Can we look up
Robin Hood Men in Tights? That's a classic.
Can we look up just the year after? Can we look up 2000? Because now I'm curious.
Should we just do this for every year until now?
Was it just an enigma?
That's what that's why I wanted to pull up mine. Because
Hold up. What? Memento. American
How the
Psycho.
Grinch Stole Christmas.
American Psycho's another one.
American Psycho's Memento. Snatch.
Almost Famous. That's a good one.
The first scary movie spawned all of them.
God.
The Patriot, although I don't really remember that one. I just know it's super famous. Remember the Titans?
Chicken Run. Interesting.
The first Final Destination. Oh no, 2000 was when they started all the chains of really bad movies.
Oh no.
Castaway. I still haven't seen Castaway.
Have you seen the original Scream?
Probably not. I don't think so.
Can you guys believe this?
Put
what
it
is
on the
happening
list.
right now? Okay, because that is...
Yeah, 2000 didn't do it as well. 99 is just
what? Okay, wait.
balling.
98?
No, we're good.
I'm kidding.
I think we proved it.
I'm kidding. Okay, hang on. I gotta write down Scream.
You know what they didn't have back then, though? Transformers animations. Holy shit, we've come a long way.
Yeah, unfortunately.
What did you guys think of that podcast? I think it's so interesting with the Transformers. Like everything but the story to me is interesting about Transformers.
True. I'm so excited to show you more of the movies that are so important to me.
See, and my thing is, I want to watch all new movies. I'm over here like, I want to watch new. I don't want to. Not that I don't want to share dope movies that I like with you or whatever, but I'm always the type of person who's like, I want to watch new movies.
Yeah.
I want to watch something new. Which reminds me, remember when I was talking about how my sisters, I come home from school every day and they watched Finding Nemo every single day?
Yeah.
It was always on.
Yeah.
You know what other movie they had on repeat?
What?
Later in our childhoods?
Oh no.
High School Musical.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
No, you want to know what happened?
What?
The DVD got lost.
No.
After months and months and months. I don't know how long. It was between like my dresser and the wall. And I swear I didn't intentionally put it there, but I got so much flame. They were like, "You were hiding it so we couldn't watch it."
I don't know.
I was like, "No."
Sounds like you.
If I wanted to get rid of it, it'd be gone.
It'd be shattered into a million pieces.
You'd feel like high school what?
Spread into the wind. Just gone.
No, but I remember they were joking, but they were like, "Did you put this back here? Were you trying to make sure we couldn't watch it? Like you're just sick of it being on?"
Did you like High School Musical?
Yeah, I was a Disney kid. We watched a bunch of Disney stuff. So like,
do you think you'd remember the words?
There was like one song that it was Corbin Blues song. I think it was at the baseball stadium. And
that's from High School Musical too. I don't dance.
That one.
I know you can't.
I downloaded that song. That was my jam.
If I can do this. I loved High School Musical, man. High School
Other
Musical
than
2
that,
is peak.
Pain in my ass. Fuck musicals.
I like Sharpay's song.
Who was like,
High
let's
School Musical
sing
2.
for like all this time. Let's go singing in front of, let's just tell a story through song.
Musicals are awesome.
Let's just, see, that's not how my brain works.
I love music.
I love music.
Which is crazy that you don't like
and
musicals.
I love like plays and theater and movies. Why do we have to sing our lives to each other?
You like
for
all
me, okay,
of
no.
the
So here's the thing.
components of a
Here's the
musical.
thing.
Yeah, listen.
Don't put them together.
Listen, I like music. I like theater. I like movies. Don't put
them together. Okay, because here's the deal. So like when there's when there's like a really bad production and you can't like. It's like us with Killing of a Sacred Deer, right? Yeah. We can't suspend our disbelief enough to actually get bought into the movie because they talk like fucking computers the whole movie. Yeah. They're like, it's like, it throws you off so bad, which is why it's like secretly a comedy, right? Musicals for me, I'm like, oh yeah, of course. They were in the kitchen. They just started singing their problems to each other. Yeah, that fucking happens all the time. For me, my logical brain is like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we're all singing now? And then you just stop and you're back in the hallway at your high school? Like the whole school was fucking singing and dancing about your fucking problems?
Yeah.
And then now we're back to class and it's just like, what? I can't do it. My brain, like, it hurts. Like, I just can't do it.
You know what movie you would hate then?
What?
It's called, so it originally was a play, like a musical. And then they turned it into a movie musical. But it's called The Last 5 Years. And it's about a relationship of these two people. Like, it's a marriage, a 5-year marriage, and then they get divorced. And it's amazing. It's so good. But yeah, they're like fighting about stuff, and then all of a sudden they just like start singing, and like I feel like that is the peak of like super dramatic, and they're just singing about it. Like one of them at the very end is like it's revealed that he cheated on her, but he's singing.
Through song.
Yeah, no, literally, because her name is Kathy. Okay, the wife's name is Kathy. And he's like laying in bed with this person where she's turned, her back is facing us. And he's singing to her. And he goes. So he's singing to her, and you think it's Kathy. You think it's her. And he goes, "We should get up, kid. Kathy is waiting." And it's revealed that it's not fucking Kathy. Yeah. Anyways, and there's like other parts, like I love it. I love that musical and that movie, but it is peak, like you would lose your fucking mind, because they'll be yelling, and then like he'll just be like, man.
Oh, I
didn't believe in you. Just out of nowhere. Wasn't that good though? Aren't I an amazing singer?
I respect the performative value and the entertainment, and that if people like them, they're clearly popular. I get it. Whatever. I can't fucking do it. I can't. I don't. I'm not gonna apologize for my personal preference.
No, fair enough.
If you want to like it, you like it. But fuck musicals, dude. I can't do it. If I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What is going on, dude?
I don't know. I think part of musicals is making the song so catchy and like so over the top, and I think that's why I like them so much, because it's so maximalist most of the time, especially like something like Hairspray.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just so ridiculous. That's why I love it.
I think
I totally get where you're coming from, and there are certain musicals where I've been like, what the fuck?
I just can't. I'm like every time I watch music, because here's my thing. Again, it's just personal preference, but like just like people, I'll be watching a scene and I can just always feel it coming.
You just know.
And you're just like, don't fucking do it.
She's just like,
they just say
like,
something
Mom,
dramatic.
I just want to go live in the city where the people are, and you're like, what the fuck?
You can't fucking go. I just want to go. And you're like, stop. Where are we? What is it? No. Just start doing that with you. Just start singing My Fucking Life.
I'm gonna do that now.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It takes me. The thing is, it just takes me out of it.
Yep.
Like
it does.
And then the way that they always they're just everyone, like, motherfuckers not involved in the situation start dancing and shit.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, like, and then everything just goes back to normal. It's like they become possessed by this fucking rhythm and black out of reality and come back, and no one ever acknowledges the fact that this is all like. Yeah. I wonder if there might be a movie like that. I would want to make a movie where like one character doesn't realize they're in a musical, and so every time everyone starts breaking into song, they're like, what the fuck?
In High School Musical, there are times where people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
There are a few times.
Well, they're all supposed to be fucking thespians and stuff too. So
well,
I mean,
and like Troy Bolton's like basketball.
Yeah.
That's the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah. We all know how High School Musical goes. You couldn't escape it. It was everywhere.
Yeah, no, and I love the way that people sing in musicals, because it's a way that no one else sings ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, it's a form of art.
It's a form of art. I love musicals,
and I hate them. And we can leave it at that.
Do you hate them? Do you hate them in person? Do you hate like actual, like a Broadway musical? Would you hate it?
I would much rather go just watch people do a whole actual play. I mean, a play without singing.
Well, that is a play.
Because musicals are.
I know, but
a play with.
if you're going to a play, there's no singing involved. If
Okay.
you're going to a musical, there's
That's
singing involved.
that's what I'm okay.
The pedantic.
Here's all I'm
It's
saying.
not important.
Here's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't like it when they all start singing.
Yeah.
That's it.
How do you feel about movies that were turned into Broadway musicals? Like, not musical movies. Like Mean Girls, they made a Broadway musical. Heathers, Legally Blonde.
Look, I mean, there's tons of weird shit that people do all over the world because they feel like it and they're all into it.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to shame them. But I'm allowed to think you're goofy and fucking weird and that it's bad.
If I did musicals, would you judge me?
If you did musicals,
If I did them again.
if you acted and sang in a musical.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. What are we? Sacting? We're sing-acting?
Yeah.
We're act-singing?
Singing and acting. And dancing, probably.
It's too many things. It's too many things. You went too far.
It's too many fucking things, dude. It's freaking me out. No, you know what my dream is?
You know what? It probably made more sense when there wasn't movies. Because then you get the whole experience. It's it's music, it's acting, it's a story, and it's just all entertaining, and it's and then for me with movies, it's what are we doing?
Have you watched a musical in person?
No. Why would I do that?
Well, then...
I hate musicals. Just show up to a musical.
Have you heard someone with the voice of a fucking angel just sing? Sing
yeah,
no
not in the
tomorrow.
musical.
But with musicals, the emotion is so... Okay. Agree to disagree. We are different in this way. But anyways, I always wanted to be in the Heathers musical. It's always been a dream of mine. And now, when you get to the point where I'm I'm not.
Well, I'm going to go to it if you're in it.
Well, I'm not a high schooler anymore. So I'm where do I, I'm not going to be an adult that goes just to a fucking theater and does
You should show up to a high school tryout for a fucking musical. Just be like, hey, this is always my dream. It's never too late, right?
Well, it's just it's once you're an adult, if you haven't already established that that's what you want to do, it's you can't just go do that. I mean, I'm sure you can.
Well, here's the deal.
It's just awkward.
Here's the deal. You can. And so with my Valorant goal thing that I told everybody about, I have new goals now. I'm not going to share them yet on podcast, but I do have new goals.
That was such an intrusive
with Valorant that I'm working on. And so here's the deal. If you start doing musicals as a child and you continue to do them into adulthood and then get a career in musicals, or if you figure out in high school or college or maybe right after, I'm really going to give it, that's you have more time to actually do it. But one thing I've noticed is that you can still do stuff that you want to do later in life or whenever. It's never too late, basically. Mm-hmm. The only thing is, I think there's two factors. There's the factor of your natural propensity and talent for any given thing that you want to do. How naturally good are you at it? Because wanting to do something and being good at something are not even in the same universe.
Right.
They're totally unrelated. And so there's always this thing of how much does it make sense to you and how good are you at it without, just getting into it. And then how long it takes to actually get something done. So for you to figure out how to get into do we move to New York and you get into you go back to school for theater
New York
and you
right
get on
now,
Broadway
just 'cause I want to.
and you do musicals and I just hang out in Harlem or something and I'm my wife's she's a musical theater and I just hang out,
My wife's playing Glinda and Wicked.
It's great.
Week.
You want to come? I got tickets. And then that's our life, it could happen.
Yeah.
But those are the factors. The time, because the time for everything is different to when you're right now on this podcast saying, oh, I want to do it. And then boom, you're doing it.
Yeah.
The time could be 3 weeks. It could be 300 years.
Yeah.
Or, and then how naturally good it, because I've noticed with things that I want to do, there's some things I want to do and I'm like pretty good at it pretty quick, and then other things that I'm like, I really want to do this and I'm really bad at it.
Yeah.
Like it's like I understand it but I can't do it. Like I understand what I'm supposed to do and I can't like just do it. I have to like work at it to get better at it, you know?
Yeah. I also, as we're talking, I just realized, and I want to get this out there because, you know, when you just like realize something about yourself and you're like, wow, you know?
You had that epiphany right now?
Yeah. Well,
Share.
I mean, I've had
Share it with me.
Yeah. That sounded so genuine.
Share it.
I know. No, so I've known this, but like at the same time, it's just kind of one of those like fleeting things. But like so much of the time, I am thinking about doing something where I'm performing. Like, and it's crazy because it's like I've never taken the initiative to pursue anything like that because it's really scary. But I'm like,
this podcast is semi-performative.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey. No, but like, you know, either like musicals or just music in general or like just anything like that. It's like I'm having this like moment where I'm realizing like I think about that all the time. Probably more than just a normal person thinks about it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's scary. And I'm like, what would I even do?
You just got to
like,
do it. You got to be scared and do it anyways.
I like can sing, but I haven't even really sang for you because it's fucking terrifying and I won't do it. I won't do it. It's like, and it's probably because with singing and just performing in general, I'm like very passionate about it. And so I feel very, very vulnerable in it. Like I feel like if someone told me I was bad, it would probably ruin my fucking life. Not actually, but it would be a lot harder to take critique of that. Just because it's so like emotional to me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think if you like really want to do something like that, you have to get over it or just not do it, but you'd have to decide how bad you want to do it or try it out, because usually when you think that type of stuff, it's not real. You're just almost like trying to protect yourself from not having to like go actually try it out and do it. Because even if you're really bad, people don't care. Yeah. They're not going to be like, you're really bad. They're just going to be like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. You know, it's like, although in the age of the internet, you know, that's usually when people have a lot of hubris though, and they fail really hard. And then people are like, look at this guy. But so, yeah, I mean, if you really want to do it, you should give it a go.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, we'll think about it.
I'm like, I feel like I really enjoy like entertaining and stuff. I mean, that's why I like doing stuff for the laughs and stuff. And then I was telling my coworkers about like how I always kind of secretly wanted to try stand-up comedy, and they were like, you would be so good at it. And I was like, okay, well, don't fucking tell me that, because now I'm not going to be able to get it out of my head. But I don't know. It's like, I love all these things, but it's so scary. Some people are really good at performing, and I don't know. But I'm like, the more I'm like looking back, the more I'm like, I've thought about that forever. You know? Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if that's just something that, does everyone do that? And I don't think you can answer, because you want to be a musician and everything. So it's like, I can't ask you, because you're like, yeah, like that was part of the whole deal, is like performing. And so like, I don't know if it's just something that like people are constantly thinking about. And I think that's why I've never pursued it, because I thought that everyone just did that all the time. Just like wanted to do that. And then I talked to like Anna at work, because with the Kill Tony podcast, it's like random people just go up and perform a minute of stand-up, and she was like, I would never ever do that. Like, I would never subject myself to that. I have no desire to be in front of people like that. Yeah. And like, I'm over here like, I'd try it out.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it feels weird. It's like one of those things where, like, I don't know. Maybe it's really important to me because I feel really embarrassed even sharing it right now. I don't know.
Don't feel embarrassed. I think that's, if the only thing holding you back from trying out something that you've wanted to try out is that you're like worried about like being bad at it or what people might say. People are always going to say stuff, and you're not going to be insane at something that you just started anyway. So both of those things are like, do you really want to do it or not? Because a lot of times there's like something that you want to do or know you should do, and you're kind of afraid to do it. But that's like the secret to moving forward is like you have to push past that fear and have courage and go do what you want to do, regardless of these obstacles, you know?
Yeah.
So if you want to try it out, you should try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm kind of thinking we should end it there. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. We've been, how long has it been? 2:15.
2 hours, about 15 minutes.
Wow. Oh, did you figure out what we're gonna watch for your movie?
Oh, I have to pick?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, because we gotta
'Cause
tell
we're
the
gonna
people.
tell people.
I didn't.
No, I
even
didn't think of that either. There's one movie that I thought of, but I don't want to watch that one for the podcast. We might just have to watch that one.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
In our off time because I'm interested in it.
We could do Killing of a Sacred Deer.
No, we gotta. That's our silver
so
bullet. We gotta
bad.
save that for later.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm looking up movies right now. I like watching new movies. I also like watching old movies.
That's cool.
Look at this movie. This movie looks like it came out in the like 90s.
My sister said that one's really good. It's by Martin Scorsese. What the? Martin Scorsese.
The new Mission Impossible. I might have to make you watch that.
But what if I haven't watched the others?
It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
I don't think so. Oh no, now I feel like I have to pick something so we can tell our audience.
I mean, you don't have to pick. Maybe we could just like edit it in at the very end. If you
No, I don't.
need
That's too
time.
much work. I don't want to do that.
Okay. Then pick something.
Do I have a list? You got to talk to these people while I look real quick.
Okay.
This will only take a second.
Hi guys. So I'm learning things about myself, like I would like to perform on stage. I have performed on stage before, so at least I'm not like I've never done this in my life, but I don't know. Comment below what you think. what you think I should do.
Snowpiercer.
Oh god. That fucking movie. Such a weird movie.
I just imagine everyone's on their on the edge of their seats like, what movie is he gonna pick? What movie do I have to watch for next week?
Yeah, your fate is in our hands, guys. In Tim's hands. What to watch?
Okay, how about I break the rules? This is a movie I wanted to show you because it's one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
So I'm gonna come more prepared. I have a better list of movies. Like this doesn't happen again. But instead of doing, because I wanna pick a new movie. Because it's with new movies you don't know. That's kind of the fun thing. It's like with classics or with old movies, people are like, "Oh, that movie is kind of like this, kind of like that, whatever."
Yeah.
Or like with Boogie Nights, you're like, "This movie, it's so amazing." You know, you get like a preface going in.
Yeah.
But with new movies, if people haven't seen it, or if like the general public hasn't, like, sometimes it feels like people kind of generally decide if a movie's like how it is or whatever. But with new movies, it's kind of like, oh, it's brand new. What do you think? You know, I think I kind of like that about it. Plus, I like seeing new stuff, and like movies are always getting slowly better and better and stuff.
Yeah.
And worse at the same time. But all of that to say, my brother had this movie on DVD, and when I moved to Colorado, Chris, I think, let me borrow this movie. I don't think I'd seen it before, and he was like, anyway, I watched it. It's like, I wonder how long it is. Excuse me, guys. I don't know what's going on. I've been clearing my throat like 5 times into my mic. So the movie is called Cloud Atlas. Have you seen it?
No. You've told me you want to watch it.
So
I'm
think so.
3 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Is that what it says? 3 hours. Yeah. So it's 3 hours. I think I watched it like twice back to back. The first time I watched it because I was like, "This is insane," and I need to watch it again. I like watched it. I've only done that with this movie and with Infinity War. I think I watched Infinity War like 2 or 3 times in a row. Yeah. That day that I got it on Amazon because I was like, this is like blowing my mind right now.
It was really good.
But yeah, Cloud Atlas, it's probably in like one of my top lists.
I'm so excited.
It's really, really interesting, really cool. Victoria, sometimes she doesn't give me crap for liking sci-fi as much as I like it, but I'll like recommend another sci-fi movie for us to watch, and she's like, yeah, maybe not sci-fi this time. Like, what if we don't? Because I just always pick sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
it's my favorite.
Yeah, which now the more that we watch the movies that I like, when I recommend movies, you're gonna be like, is it another one of those?
Right? We all do it. Don't lie to yourself. You do it too.
We all have our thing.
You listening to this podcast.
She could tell.
Scott came in. She wanted to chime in. She said, I like period piece romance movies.
Yep.
In Europe. Yeah, so the movie's called Cloud Atlas. It's from 2012. Stars Tom Hanks and directed and written by the Wachowskis. But it's one of my favorite movies. I love it. Yeah, so
I'm excited to watch
it again and see how much I remember and if it's as good as I remember. Because that's always the thing is like sometimes you have that thing. We all have that thing where like, this thing is amazing. And then you go back and you're like, oh, that was a time in my life. Mm-hmm. But I really liked it. And actually, Rick and Morty did a scene where that was a rip of it.
Yeah. The true.
Yeah. So you'll know once you see it, once you see the movie. But Cloud Atlas is one of my favorites. So we'll watch that for next week.
Yay!
And we thank you guys for still listening. We're so sorry once again for missing. I don't even know how much we missed. Was it 2 weeks worth of uploads?
Yeah. It was 2 episodes, I think.
Okay, so we'll try and put an extra episode in somewhere in the middle of the week as a surprise soon for you guys.
Maybe that should be our Killing of the Sacred Deer one.
That's perfect. Let's do that.
Okay,
we can do that.
So we'll do Cloud or should we do Cloud Atlas first?
So let's do them in order. So like we'll say the next movie is going to be Cloud Atlas. Maybe Cloud Atlas could be the bonus or no. Let's do Cloud Atlas next week.
Yeah, Cloud Atlas is next Monday.
And then the bonus, we've talked about it so many times. You should go ahead and watch it because we're going to talk about it soon anyway. So
warning, it's really weird. But if you go in expecting it to be a satire, it works a lot better.
So if you watch Killing of a Sacred Deer, watch it, start the movie, and tell yourself, I'm about to watch a comedy. And it'll make more sense. Tell yourself,
won't really make
this
sense,
is a comedy
but it'll
film.
make more sense. It is such a weird movie, and I'm very excited. I'm excited that like our family that watches this, that does watch the movies, is gonna be subject to that and be like, what did just
happen?
Yeah.
So
everyone
goofy.
needs to feel how we felt, you know.
So yeah, Cloud Atlas next week, and then go ahead and watch Killing of a Sacred Deer 2. That'll probably be like the bonus one, and we'll probably say it in the next episode too, so you don't get behind or whatever. But anyways, we're sorry. We're gonna try and make it up to you guys. We really appreciate you watching and listening. And if you want to email us,
stucktogetherpod@gmail.com, bitch. No. Yeah.
Thank you for the emails.
Yeah, please email.
They started emailing us.
Thank you so much for emailing. John and Hillary. I'm glad that Tim's family is emailing us. No one from my neck of the woods, I guess. That's fine. Anyways, but yeah, thank you guys so much. And yeah, so Cloud Atlas will be next Monday. And then, the Killing of a Sacred Deer will be sprinkled in somewhere extra. It'll be an extra bonus episode.
Yeah. And I'm gonna, John wanted to be on the podcast, so he might be on one of those episodes too.
Oh, yeah.
So we might just go ahead and do that. So I still have to talk to him about it, but we'll find out and we'll see. So he's coming up soon. He's going to be on the podcast no matter when it is. So
yeah. And I got to figure out who in my life I want on the podcast.
Yeah, you got to get some guests on.
I know. I haven't had a guest yet.
Yeah. You got to get a guest. We'll do it.
I'll think about it.
Well, thank you guys. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.